Welcome to this video here. Today we're going to talk about how we break down gold and how I'm breaking it down from the daily time frame down to the 15-minute time frame and how we can make a story out of each time frame here. So basically we're going to start off with the daily time frame, looking at that, and we're going to see how did the previous candle close. So when we look at the previous candle closure here, we get a pretty good insight of what the next candle could look like. So when we see like this one, the daily time frame here, it closed bearish. So we expect if we aren't at support or closed right at support, which we didn't, because then we could reject, but we didn't here. So we could expect this next candle here, you know, this green candle right now, as it's currently open, that could turn bearish and move down and close bearish like the other one did. Basically, that's what we expect here. So right now we want to find our support and resistance and know what the previous candle looked like. So basically right now the previous candle is bearish, so we can have a pretty bearish bias for this whole day here in the charts. We found support down here, we found the previous resistance up here. So now we can go down to the 4-hour time frame and see how did it close, if it's bearish, bullish, or where we have support and resistance. So when we're looking at the 4-hour time frame here, we can clearly see that this isn't the near support and resistance. So we gotta move this one and move it to the nearest resistance that we have. So basically we have a resistance like sitting right back above this current one. So we're gonna readjust and put it right here. So we're looking for support and resistance places where we have a lot of clean range to the other side. So basically above the support here, we have a lot of clean range, as you see these clean candles right here. So basically we gotta look for our near support, but we got a lot of clean range too. So we got the support level right here, which is our nearest support, and we got a lot of clean range coming down below. Because if we use this one here, we have a support in the way. If we use this support, we got another support in the way right here, because we don't have much clean range below them. So we got to use this one, which is our nearest support with a lot of clean range coming down. So for the breakdown here, as this is gold, for example, but if we're gonna break down this chart here, we're mostly gonna be looking at the daily time frame and the 4-hour time frame for our like directional bias, let's say. So mostly our bias for the day or for the session. So mostly we're looking at the daily for the bias for the whole day. But mostly the 4-hour time frame, we're looking at that to get more insight of what we could expect in the next 3 to 4 hours on the charts. So basically when we're trading a session, we're coming in and we're having like 2, 3, maybe even 4 hours we're sitting on the charts. And there we have one 4-hour candle that we can be a part of. So it's very, very important to know how that 4-hour candle look. So we gotta take a look at this previous 4-hour candle and see how could this give us a sign to how the next one could close, because we want to find the best possible entries here. That's why we break down and do the analysis. We want to find the best possible entries for our system here to produce as much money and produce the best results that we can get. So really what we want to look into here is the 4-hour time frame. How did it close? It closed bearish in this example here. So both the daily closed bearish, the previous one, and the 4-hour closed bearish, the previous one. So right now we're rejecting here and we have already closed bullish on this candle here. We came up, made a wick, and we never closed above this recent resistance right here. And as I said before, we want to find with clean range, so we can't really use the previous one right here. We got to readjust it to this one because we got a lot of clean range coming back above there. So this is really the range we are in right now on the 4-hour time frame. So when we're looking at this, it's looking pretty bearish to me to come down into this this area of support after creating a resistance here and closing back in this previous range. If you look at this level right here, but let's just readjust and put it up here. So we are in this overall 4-hour range. So we gotta go down to the 1-hour time frame with the bias of being pretty bearish both on the daily time frame and the 4-hour time frame. So now we go down to the 1 hour here and look for, you know, more precise ranges here, because now we're going down in time frames, but we know the higher the time frame, the stronger the data. So we got to look at the 4-hour and daily first to see where could we be going here? Where could the higher time frame lead us, and where could the signs be on the lower time frame here? So really what we want to look at now is where is our range. So like I said before, we gotta find support and resistance. So now we have resistance up here, and now we have support right here, because above this support, or sorry, above this resistance, we got a lot of clean range. Below this support right here, we got a lot of clean range coming down. So the 4 hour is looking pretty clean to come down here, because it being bearish, and the daily is being bearish too. So could we see this 1 hour here begin to come down, because we actually close below this level here? If we keep closing below this range overall support, I think this candle here might begin to drive down. We are out of volume now because I'm doing this at a little later time, but just price action wise, this looks very, very good to come down. I think we might need a little steeper wick here to the upside, but I do think we could begin to come down, especially if you break the 4 hour lows here. So the 1 hour is looking pretty clean. Let's see what's up with this in 30 minutes. If this close with support, you simply just move this line here to the next support, and you would just wait for closures below. But as we already got the closure below, we gotta go down to the 30 minute and see what's holding price up here. When we go down to the 30 minute here, we can clearly see that then the recent resistance, we can move for this one, because now we got clean range above here. We got around like 45 pips and a wick to fill up here. So around like 100 pips here to take advantage of if we get a closure above. But we are bearish, so we could see a fake out here, or we could, you know, I have these ready here, so you could place like a bias above. Oh, I don't actually. Oh, yeah, range 2 bias. So you could place like a range 2 bias here, because you would look for a candle closing above, and then you would look for a bearish candle and a new candle closing below or above that new resistance. That would mean and give us better confirmation to we could move up, because right now we're looking pretty bearish with both a daily and a 4 hour that's bearish. But let's look here in the 30 minute time frame. So we got a little more information here, because now we can actually take a look and see this one right here. Because when we got this one, that might be what holding price up. We haven't really tapped that yet. We're also out of volume because of the time. But normally, let's say this was New York Open or something, I would really be looking for sells here, but we have a support in the way. So we have a support in the way, and we have a lot of clean range coming down below, because we have like 62 pips here and a wick to fill. So I do like the closures below this range more. So I think that if we get a 30 closure coming down and closing below this 21.7 level, same with the 15 time frame here, I do think that we could begin to move down. So clean range here and closures below, that would be great. We can readjust this, because I just went on a 15 minute to get a little more clear data here. But now we have the ranges set up, and we're basically looking for mostly for sells here, because this is really the range we want to take advantage of here. So let's put this green for the, let's call it the money range, because this is really the less risky range to take your sells in, because now we got a smooth, like good closure below, and then we can take advantage of this whole move, moving down to that support over here to the left. So that's really what we're looking for here when we break down gold. We typically start from the daily time frame. We look at, okay, how did the daily close and all of that, and how is the daily looking now? We have a room to go down. We're looking pretty bearish in the previous candle. We looked at the 4 hour time frame here and saw that I really saw that we closed back inside the previous range. We are at resistance. This could just be the daily top wick, and right now we're rejecting here with a bearish 4 hour time frame. So when the daily is bearish, the 4 hour is bearish. We can't be anything than bearish right now. So when the daily closing below here, and we got a pretty clean range, we gotta just look at the lower time frame and look at the 15 and 30 and see, okay, where do we got our resistance and supports? And we got our resistance and supports right here and right there. So I do think that sells below here is very, very good. And I do think that range 2 buys up on above here at 30 or 3030 is looking pretty good. So this is really the range here right now, and that's how you break down gold here from the daily time frame down to the 15-minute chart. It varies daily with all the ranges and how did candle close and all of that. But things you can take into consideration is just basically telling a story from the time frame you're on. So like basically now we can say that, okay, this candle already came all the way up here and now we're coming all the way back down. But why are we coming back down if we already broke the highs? Maybe that was just to take out some early buyers or something from the market here to begin to move further down, because we still got room down here to come down to the support too. And basically that's the story you can tell from time frame to time frame, from candle to candle, like going from really like candle to candle here, and seeing like the 4 time frame here too. We close back below this range. This time frame here needs more of a top wick maybe before we move down. So maybe that's why I don't move yet. But you can like tell a story from candle to candle and time frame to time frame, all the way down from all the way up from the daily and down to the 15-minute time frame here. And that's how we really create like a story here where we can align the time frames, and that's how we use it to our advantage here on the charts, because we really want to take advantage of like putting together the time frame. So we really want to use the daily, the 4 hour, the 1 hour, 30 and 15 when we have a playbook setup showing up in the market. Because when we have a playbook setup in the market, we want to look for the highest confirmation on that setup possible. And that's really, really, really a good setup if we can align the daily, the 4 hour, the 1 hour, the 30 and the 15 to like say that it could be a good setup. So you know, like the daily bearish, the 4 hour bearish, the 1 hour made a breakout, 30 onion, 15 celery, that would be great, because now we have all time frames aligning. So that's really how we want to take advantage of putting the time frames together and making a story out of it. And yeah, that's really it. So I hope this video helped you to understand a little more about what kind of ranges we're looking for. We're looking for ranges with a lot of clean range above, like clean candles above or below, and we're looking for the nearest support and resistances on the chart. As I said before, like it can vary from day to day, like with different ranges and where the candles closed, or we could be in a like heavy range or something, like on the daily or 4 hours, so it gets more tough. But as soon as you got like a more ranging, a good ranging market, or like a good trending market, it should be easier to like tell where you got your support and resistance and all of that. So yeah, I hope this video gave you some more insight, some more, just something you learned from this video. I basically hope that you could learn something from it. And yeah, and I hope you all liked this video. So comment down below what you want to see next, and I'll see y'all